Hey everybody, and welcome back to the next part in my dialing in series for the Line 6 Helix. This week I'm doing something pretty different, I think, than what I've done before. I'm going to get kind of heavy here and dive into one of the amp models that I honestly have never tried before. I'm not too much of a really heavy metal player, and so therefore I don't really usually explore a lot of the heavy amps in the Helix, but I wanted to try out the Line 6 Badonk, right? Which from what I understand is just a Line 6 original based off of maybe an older model that they had created. I don't know the whole backstory on it, but it's kind of funny because I was out exercising the other day and I hadn't listened to any heavy music in a while, so I threw on some Old Testament, the Ritual album, and it just kind of got me thinking, man, I got to do a dialing in for one of the heavier amps. So I quickly just kind of scanned through them this morning before I was dialing in this tone, and the Badonk just really kind of jumped out at me as something that sounded really cool. And so what I actually did with it too, there's going to be another video coming up at the same time. Please go check it out. It's going to be me using this tone that you're going to see here, performing the Testament song Electric Crown. Not all the way through, I just did the solo, but I found a backing track online that was just drums and bass, so it was really cool. I was able to do two rhythm guitars with the rhythm snapshot you're going to see here, pan them left and right, and then I was able to use the lead snapshot to do both the lead guitar solo and a little tiny harmony that's in there as well. So there's basically, like, at some points 4 guitar tracks. It's all this Badonk preset that I'm going to have up on CustomTone with nothing done to it in the mix, okay? So as you hear it in the other video is as it sits. It's a hard panned left and a hard panned right rhythm guitar, and mostly just the lead snapshot is the lead guitar with a little bit of sprinkled harmonies throughout it. So check it out. It was a fun one. It's always been a favorite solo of mine. I love Alex Skolnick's playing, and I like Testament a lot. Just haven't listened to it in a while. But let's dive over to HX Edit and take a look at what I did with the Badonk. I didn't really go too crazy with it. So when you pull it up, it comes up with the 412 Cali V30 cab with a 160 ribbon at 2 inches. Now I found the bottom end was a little bit too out of control at 2 inches, so I raised that to 4 inches and then I left it alone. On the amp itself, I do have 2 snapshots here. I have rhythm and lead. So the only difference was, and as you can see, I forgot to snapshot enable that, but on the rhythm, I had the gain at 7.1 and I just boosted it up to 8 for the lead, and I turned the delay on. So that's really the only difference that we're going to see, okay? So for the rhythm, the delay is off. I have my normal little compressor at the end doing its thing. A little tiny bit of EQ on both snapshots, normal low cut at 100, high cut at 12 kilohertz, a little tiny bit of 440 hertz with a Q of 1.3 pulled out, minus 1.5 dB, just to give it a little bit less mud. I have a little bit of room reverb just because I always like to do it with these direct sounds just to give it more of a sound like it was actually an amp being played in the room. I went with my split crossover, set at 650 hertz like I often do, and I just added 1 dB to all the frequencies above that, and I didn't touch anything below it. So on the amp, the drive was 7.1. Bass I brought down, I believe, from the stock settings down to 3.9. Mid was at 4, treble was at 7, presence at 4.9. I think I boosted the presence up quite a bit, brought the treble up a fair amount from what comes in as stock. Channel volume I just dialed in to get a nice signal going into the power cab. And everything else I just left alone. So this sounded like this. Nice and full, nice and heavy. I really wanted to get a lot of drive and distortion for a heavy tone, but I wanted to keep the clarity. I wanted the notes to punch out really nice. Now, a lot of folks, again, might find this sounds a little bit dark, but I do that on purpose because when it's cranked up, it doesn't get piercing to the ear. And I found the low end on this was nicely controlled. It sounded good through my studio monitors. It sounded really good through the power cab even when I cranked it up. And it was nice and fat. Almost a creamy sound to it. Really nice, so really happy with it. So I was pretty happy with that overall. Now, like I said, all I did on the lead was just boost up a tiny little bit of gain just to give it a little more bite. And I also added the delay in. Now, you'll notice the delay here is a transistor tape set at a quarter note, feedback of 18 and a mix of 25%. I did set the tempo at 165 up here just to match the electric crown solo, the Testament solo I was talking about earlier. So it was cutting really nice. I was really happy with the way it just sat in the mix, and you guys can go take a listen to it. Like I said in the other video, I'm gonna post these at the same time, so you can, and I'll even put a link in the description in this one and cross-reference them so you guys can actually hear what this sounds like I said, in a more produced setting with a couple rhythm guitars hard panned, lead guitar, you know, slightly panned maybe to the right, and the harmony slightly panned to the left, something like that. Anyways, so a pretty simple preset today, not a whole heck of a lot more to say. Nice short video. I hope you guys like it. This is up on CustomTone now, and I will have the link in the description to it for anybody who wants to grab it. All you guys that wanted me to do something heavy, I've had quite a few requests. Hopefully this is to your liking. It's my idea of heavy. Maybe it's not everybody else's idea of heavy. I'll probably do some other ones though, and maybe do something more modern metal based. Like I said, I'm kind of an old school metal guy for the metal that I listen to, so something like the older Testament and stuff I really like. Not that I was trying to recreate that sound, it just seemed to fit really nice. And when I went back and forth with this tone with the original, I was like, it actually works all right, and the mix came out sounding okay. So anyways, I hope you guys like it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, really appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Please like the video and share it if you don't mind. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate all the support. And thank you again for tuning in. I'll be back again soon with some more content. And for now, ciao.